germs. Let me move my camera a little bit. Yes, as you can see, I got a haircut, finally. It's about that time. And on a programming note, you might have noticed something that's going to be premiering this coming Friday on March the 15th. New episode of Tornado Tales has finally been posted. So if you've been wondering why there hasn't been any live streams this weekend, that episode is the reason why. So I've been working on it all weekend. So tonight, Phoenix. Oh, what a bore fest this race was. So let's go ahead and get into it because I want to get it done and over with because I don't feel like talking about it. So let's get into it. This is the fuel. This video is sponsored by Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend and by Reaper Apparel Company. Stay tuned till after the video to learn how you can save 10% off of your order. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan, and welcome to tonight's edition of The Fuel. Tonight we're going to be talking about the 2024 Shriners Children's 500 from the Phoenix Raceway. And this was the first race with the quote-unquote short track package. The new short track package that they came up with during the off season to try to improve short track racing. The problem is the package did jack fuck all to the racing at Phoenix. It's honestly starting to look like the championship race this past November was an anomaly, because we're right back to the boring ass fucking racing that we have been getting at Phoenix for the last several years, especially with this new car. So I have very little hope that the racing at the short tracks, which we're going to be going to 3 of them in the next 3 weeks, I have little hope that the racing there is going to improve with this quote-unquote short track package. Like, it sucked dick. The Fox broadcast sucked dick as usual, especially with one moment, which I'm going to be talking about. And it also kind of showed how fucking retarded a lot of NASCAR fans are. And I'll get to that in a minute. But this race sucked. I'm not going to make any bones about it. This race sucked dick. I mean, it wasn't egregiously bad, but it was boring as fuck. And out of the 4 races that we've done so far in 2024, this one was by far the worst so far. So let's go ahead and get into it. There really wasn't much in news stories other than the SHR hauler being involved in an accident on its way back to North Carolina, which was pretty crazy. But thankfully none of the cars were damaged in that deal, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and get through this review, get it done and over with. So the stages broke down. Stage 1 was 60 laps. Stage 2 was 125 laps. And then Stage 3 was 127 laps. Denny Hamlin started from the pole. But Ty Gibbs, who started on his outside, gets to run around the outside and leads lap 1. He actually had a pretty decent car early on in this race, although it did fall off on the long runs. Eric Jones was up to second. Then we had our first caution on lap 6 when both of the Austins, Dillon and Cindric, were involved in Derek Cross's spin off of turn 2. Austin Dillon was able to continue, but Cindric was done for the day. So we had a restart on lap 13 with Ty Gibbs as the leader. Lots of battling in the mid pack. Of course, all the restarts at Phoenix with the big ass dog leg and all that runoff area. I mean, you're going to see everybody just fan out everywhere trying to get all the positions that they can on the restart because it's the best time to do it. It's unfortunate for Austin Cindric, yeah, and it's also unfortunate for Austin Dillon because he's been involved in early accidents in 3 of the first 4 races this year. And of course, he led the series in DNFs last year, and this year just seems like a continuation of that. But Elliott was up to 5th at this point. Top 4 at this point within 1.3 seconds. There's one thing I will say about this race. Stage 1 was actually pretty decent. Of course, it was only 60 laps. And then, right as Eric Jones gets a run underneath of Gibbs to battle him for the race lead, Fox decides to go to a commercial break as Jones has a run underneath of him. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And I even said something to that effect, and Brock Beard on Twitter said as much. But then, you have a couple of fucking nimrods that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. And of course, I was very not nice to them. Because one guy said in response to Brock, cry, if you don't like the commercials, buy a damn ticket. To which I replied, not everyone can afford to go to every race, you fucking Nimrod. Use some brain cells for once, if you even have any at all. So that was my response to him. And then there was another guy who was like, nothing important happened. Stop complaining just to complain. For your information, who gives a shit about Toyota anyway? Like, these are the fucking idiots that post on social media because they can hide behind a screen and think, oh, well, I could just say whatever the fuck I want. Well, guess what? I'm going to flame you live on the air. Because I replied to this guy, nothing happened, except the battle for the lead. The most important battle on the track. Shut the fuck up. And then I posted just on a response to that, goddamn, NASCAR fans can be such fucking morons. And that's all that really needs to be said. Moving on. Jones drops back to 4th, and now Reddick is up to challenge for the race lead, and he does take it on lap 58 for a first pure lead change of the day, and Reddick wins stage number 1. Stage 1 was actually not bad. Unfortunately, it was all downhill from here. So everyone comes in for service. Denny Hamlin, who had the number 1 pit stall, got out ahead of everybody and leads the start of stage 2. Of course, everyone fans out down the front stretch, as usual. Lots of 3 wide on the restart. Gibbs and Byron battle for 4th with Truex Jr. not far behind. Elliott was up to 3rd at this point. And then we had green flag pit stops begin on lap 117. Hamlin pits from the lead on lap 119. Busch, who was hoping for a caution, stays out long for track position, but has to pit on lap 125. Todd Gilliland in the 38 actually stayed out the longest, hoping for a caution, but it never came, so he had to come to pit road eventually, near the end of the stage. Reddick gets under Hamlin for the provisional lead, as Gilliland had not made his pit stop at this point. And then we have a battle for 7th between Elliott and Blaney, with Keselowski and Gregson not far behind. Christopher Bell, who had a fast car, finally close the gap on the top 2. Then he gets by Hamlin for 2nd. Logano goes a lap down. He was just dog shit today. In fact, he's been pretty much dog shit all year. Bell passes Reddick for the lead in turn 2, similar to what Reddick did in the first stage, for our second and final pure lead change on lap 190. Yep, that was it for the pure lead changes. And Bell wins stage number 2. Pretty boring second stage, although it was clean. Same cannot be said for stage 3. Everyone comes in for service. Hamlin was the first off again because the first pit stall is Strunk. So he leads the start of stage 3. 3-4 wide on the restart as usual. But then we had our second caution on lap 197 when Kyle Busch spins on his own off of turn 2. That car was just not good all day. We had a restart on lap 203 with Hamlin as the leader. Reddick gets to the lead as everyone spreads out and several drivers smack the wall. Then we had our third caution on lap 206 as we had a big wreck in turn 3 as Joey Logano is involved big time because he got run over by John Hunter Nemechek. And it involved Josh Berry, Corey LaJoie, Zane Smith, and Derek Kraus. So we had another restart on lap 213 with Tyler Reddick as the leader. Truex starts coming into the picture in a big way in a 3-way dog fight for the lead with Reddick and Hamlin. Then we had our fourth and final caution on lap 215 when Hamlin goes around fighting for the lead as he pushed up into Reddick and turns 1 and 2 and bumped off of him, and that caused him to spin out. He would recover to a top 10 finish, I believe. Rough start to the season for Joey, only one top 10. Yeah, you would think, considering this is an even year, that the 22 would be, more of a threat than it has been. Usually in the odd number years, he's kind of dog shit, but he really hasn't been all that good this year. And at this point, I'm like, well, we've gone from boring-ass racing to horrible-ass driving. 3 cautions in quick succession to the start of Stage 3. Thankfully, that was the last of the cautions. So, most of the field come in for service, and several cars actually stay out to try to gain track position. We have a restart on lap 220 with Martin Truex as the leader. Bubba Wallace gets into Eric Jones, and the 43 goes sliding into the wall. No caution, but his car was pretty much damaged, and he was off the pace for the rest of the day. There were a lot of unfamiliar names in the top 10 at this point, as some drivers took 2 tires. Hamlin finished 11th. Oh, well, I thought he got a top 10 out of the deal. He nearly got back to the top 10. But, I don't really give a fuck about Hamlin anyway, so it's whatever. But, there were several drivers, namely Ryan Preece and Truex, that were probably not going to make it on fuel, although it was tires that was the bigger concern. There was a battle for second between Preece and Gibbs. Bell was back into the top 5 after restarting 20th. Christopher Bell had a fast car all day. We have a battle for third between Chastain, Preece, and Bell. So we had JGR cars 1, 2, and 3 with 58 laps to go. So after the first 3 races where Toyota was basically a non-factor, all of a sudden the Toyotas have shown up in a big way here in race 4 because they were completely dominant in this race, especially the JGR cars. Preece starts to fall back on the older tires. Bell gets by Gibbs for second. Truex was 5 seconds ahead of Bell with 50 laps to go, but with 41 to go, he has to pit from the lead for tires and fuel. So Bell assumes the lead with 40 laps to go, 2.3 seconds up on Ty Gibbs, and that lead only grew from there, and that was pretty much all she wrote as far as the battle for the win. We had a battle for fourth between Chastain and Keselowski. Michael McDowell was actually in the top 10 late in the race. Buescher actually got by Gibbs for second, and I think Keselowski also finished fourth. So nice recovery for RFK, considering that the first 3 races haven't really gone so well for them. So nice recovery for that team. There was a battle for 8th between Reddick and Briscoe. Then there was a pretty spirited battle between Gregson, Truex, and Hamlin. They joined the battle for 8th. And there was actually a battle between and Noah and Christopher were really going at it for 10th place indeed. There was actually a really good battle for 5th between Ross Chastain and Ryan Blaney. Those two seem to be getting around each other now. And Christopher Bell wins at Phoenix by 5.5 seconds. And that was your lot at Phoenix. So yeah, not a whole hell of a lot to speak of, to say the least. So the first mediocre race of the season, and to no one's surprise, it was Phoenix. And they tried to do some changes to the short track package to make it race better, but it did jack fuck all. So, it doesn't really instill me with confidence as we're heading into all 3 of the short tracks, well, 3 of the 4 short tracks, with Iowa being the new one, in the next 3 weeks. So, forgive me if my enthusiasm is not exactly through the roof. But race stats, there were only 10 lead changes the entire day. 2 of those were pure. There were 4 cautions. 3 in that third stage. 3 cautions that really didn't need to happen, truth be told. On the plus side, we've continued our streak at the beginning of the year of 0 overtimes, so that's a good thing at the very least. It's odd to see the petty cars in Toyotas. It is, but There's rumors going around that there may be a different team in Toyotas next year, and it may be SHR, because rumors are they're going to split from Ford at the end of the year. But we'll see about that one. There were 2,813 green flag passes, which averages out to 10.3 on average. And there were actually two drivers that led the most laps. It was Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin, who led 68 laps apiece. As for my final rating for the Shriners Children's 500 at Phoenix, this race sucked. It really did. But there wasn't any egregious, officiating. We had 0 overtimes at the very least. And for the most part, it was clean up until the beginning of that third stage. But once they cleaned it up, it was alright. Alright in the sense that, it wasn't a total shit show. But, for the most part, the package didn't really work. I didn't see any significant changes. I didn't feel like there were any significant changes to the racing. The racing was just not good. It was just really boring to me. But it wasn't a total disaster like we've seen a lot of other races, especially in the last couple years. So I will be generous, which is, I'm stretching that a little bit. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. That's the best I can do it. Here's a weird stat. Ryan Preece has finished 23rd in 3 of the 4 races this season. Huh. Maybe him and Bubba Wallace should swap numbers. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, there's weird numbers like that. They line up numbers one way or another, and it's kind of freaky, but that's motorsports for you. But I will tell you one damn thing. Despite how boring this race was, I would take this 9 times out of 10 over Formula 1 right now. Because we've had 2 Formula 1 races this year, and guess who was the winner in both? Yeah. I don't think it's really any surprise. Yeah, this one team domination shit, in Formula 1, it's always been a thing in Formula 1, but with Max Verstappen and Red Bull, it's the worst it's ever been. And it honestly couldn't come at a worse possible time with, that Netflix show bringing fans in, but now it's turning the same fans off because the racing is fucking garbage. When you had the same guy winning all the fucking time, like we did last year. He won 19 of 23 races last year. That's fucking stupid. It shows that you have a fucking problem. Because when you have the same fucking guy win every single race, yeah, it shows how dominant he is and how much talent he has, but at the same time, it's like, who the fuck cares? Who's going to want to watch that shit all year? Because people are just going to start tuning out. And that's not exactly what you want for the premier motorsport in the world. That's just my 2 cents on the deal. But that's going to do it for this edition of The Field. Pretty short episode this week, but not a whole lot happened. Not a whole lot happened that's worth talking about. So, short episode this week. Which is good because I got other shit to do. So, it's whatever. But, that'll do it. Noah Gragson and Stuart Haas needed these great runs. Yeah, Gregson's actually done pretty good the last 2 weeks, all things considered. And they honestly need some good runs because the last couple of years have, quite frankly, been dog shit. And now they don't have their elder statesman anymore. So, they got to put something together. That's for damn sure. But that's going to do it for this edition of The Fuel. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out. See you later. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan letting you know that tonight's video was sponsored by W Jitterless Energy Blend and Reaper Apparel Company. Special shout out to both of them for sponsoring my YouTube channel. W Energy is a jitterless energy blend that contains coffee fruit extract and was designed to give gamers a boost of energy without all the downsides of regular energy drinks like crashes and harmful ingredients. And there are several different great flavors that you can try, such as Dragonade, Push and Punch, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, Watermelonada, and the limited edition Palm Blom flavor. And don't forget to get you a plastic shaker while you're at it. If you're interested in giving W Energy a shot, there's an affiliate link down in the description box below. In addition to W Energy, this video has also been brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. By clicking on the affiliate link down below in the description box, you'll be able to browse through many of their different wares, such as hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and other cool items. And that's not the only thing. When you place an order and you go to checkout, be sure to type in the code PackerMan and you'll be able to save 10% off of your order. And it would also help me out as well if you use the affiliate link, so thank you if you do. And also, special thanks to both W and Reaper Apparel for sponsoring my channel. Hey, what's happening? Thank you for watching tonight's video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to stay apprised of the latest videos for this channel. If you would like to join the Spare Parts Gaming community, links to their Discord and Facebook are down in the description. Also, if you would like to leave me a tip for the video, a link to my coffee is down in the description box below at buymeacoffee.com/thepackerman71. Also, be sure to give my channel sponsors W Energy and Reaper Apparel Company a shot. Their affiliate links are down in the description box below, and it would help me out as well. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out.